Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about seasickness. So in my next video, finally, of my cruise series. I've actually had a few people ask me questions about seasickness because they all gone on cruises and want to know maybe what they could use, etc. So I thought I would talk about seasickness because you're looking at the #1 person who gets sick on every cruise. Actually, I don't get sick anymore. I know how to handle it now, so thank God. But I'll give you some tips on maybe how you can handle seasickness, especially if you're going on your first cruise. So on my very first cruise, I got very, very sick. And once you start being sick on a cruise ship, you don't stop. So off I went with the 50 other people who'd never cruised before and suck with seasickness. Went down to the medical centre, which FYI, get travel insurance because that place is not cheap. So 100% make sure you have travel insurance when you go on a cruise. Just a hot tip. So I lined up to go see the doctor and help me sort out the seasickness. And they got a needle and they jabbed it right above my butt. And it was a Phenergan shot. And pretty much instantly, I stopped feeling sick. I felt a little bit sick for 5 or 10 minutes, but then it was gone. I didn't feel I could still sort of feel in my stomach that I guess I would be sick. Well, not even that I would be sick, but I don't know how to describe it, but it did go away. And he gave me tablets of Phenergan and said take one every 8 hours, and you should be fine for the rest of the cruise. And I was, and I've stuck by that for every other cruise I've been on. I know there's probably other ways, but this is, first of all, my way of dealing with seasickness. So after that experience, on my next cruise I went on, I took a Phenergan the day before I got on board. This is key for any sort of travel sickness medicine you're taking. I would always recommend to take it the day before your cruise, so you're sort of already used to taking it and your body's, I guess, got that drug in your system. So I'd always take it the day before. I'd start taking it the day before. Then, as soon as I get on board, I started doing the every 3-hour thing. Every 3 hours, I would take a Phenergan. Obviously, the first couple of days on a cruise, it's more rocky because you're going through rough seas, leaving land, and generally there's rougher seas as you leave land and approach other islands. So they were always the hardest days leaving Australia, was those first few days. So I would see how I feel. I'd take the Phenergan tablet. However, if I felt like I was feeling good and I wouldn't feel sick, I wouldn't take it, and I'd see how I feel. And if I felt like I needed to take one, I would quickly run to my cabin and take one. Otherwise, I'd really just sort of, suss it out and how I felt and how flat the sea was, how calm it was, how much the boat was rocking. Obviously, the bigger the ship you go on, the less it rocks. The lower you are, the less you rock. The higher you are, the more you rock. So for all those people who are like, oh, I'm on deck 11, if you get seasickness and you're on deck 11, you're gonna get very sick, my friend, because we look at it like this, and if we move, up here moves more than down here would. So you're gonna actually feel it way more. In saying that though, if you can get a balcony room, it is a lot better. Another thing I find is when I do feel a bit sick, I have to get to fresh air. And obviously if you're in a cabin all the way down, you have to run up somewhere to go get some fresh air. Fresh air really helps. So yeah, that's my trick. I take Phenergan and fresh air. Phenergan does make you drowsy. It does make you a little sleepy. So I would always take half of a 10mg tablet. So I wasn't taking a full one, and I would find that it wouldn't affect me as much. You would feel tired, but if you pushed through and you did something like go swimming or do an activity, if you just sat in your room and lied on your bed, you're gonna fall asleep. But if you just kept doing stuff, I didn't find that it affected me. Sorry, I just had to add that in. Phenergan does make you drowsy and it does make you sleepy if you've never taken it before. So, pre-warning. Anyway, this one time I just taken Phenergan. I'd gone up to the top deck to try and get some fresh air. It was a bit rocky outside, and this worker could see that I was just not doing well in life, and free of charge they went and got me a ginger ale. and they said, oh look, this will help settle your stomach, because they could just see I was sick, and I was like so grateful for them for doing that, and it really did. So some people find ginger, and especially ginger soda drinks, soft drinks, whatever you want to call it, really do help calm your stomach. So that's another thing you could do. Now I'm going to move on to what I know other people have done and it's worked for them. So on the first few cruises I went on, my little sister, who was 5 years younger than me, she would wear those pressure bands that go around your wrist and hit on a pressure point. I'll insert a picture somewhere of what they look like. And she didn't feel sick at all. Absolutely worked. And a few other kids that I know tried it, and it worked for them. In saying that though, the adults that I know that tried it, it didn't work as well. I feel like it worked better on kids. I don't know. This is just experience that my family members and friends have had. So I recommend maybe if you have kids, you know, if they're going to get seasickness, maybe pop those on their wrists. It really helped my sister, and it helped other members of my family, and they didn't feel sick at all. So maybe you could try them. Maybe it works with adults. Let me know below if you've tried them and they work for you. They did not work for me. I tried wearing them on my first cruise and it just did not work. I needed the drugs, straight up, needed the Phenergan. That. You can also use, I know in Australia, Blackmore's vitamin type company, they make a tablet called Travel Calm, which is like a ginger tablet. So any sort of ginger tablety type stuff, it's meant to really help. Ginger is meant to really help calm your stomach, which is also why my mum took this. My mum was just a person who could take Travel Calm and she would feel fine. Like if she felt a bit sick, she would take one of those and she was fine. Envy her so much for being able to do that. But she also used to take like ginger cookies on board, and she reckoned they helped because they had ginger in it, and anything ginger she would just sort of take, and it actually really helped her. So she's lucky. But that's another thing you could try, Travel Calm. I know it's in Australia. I don't know about other countries, but I'm gonna get into that because I know a few products in America that you can use for travel sickness. So on my first American cruise ship, which was Royal Caribbean, for free down at the medical center, they had Meclizine, I think that's what it's called, Meclizine, just little tablets you could take and try. And I tried one, and look, it wasn't really rocky to begin with, but I feel like it helped, and I know a lot of people say it helps. The other American drug, which I know a lot of people take, and I have taken, I took it on my Disney cruise last year that I did, because I did take some note with me, but I really wanted to test it out, and that was Dramamine. I'll insert a picture here, and that's what you call it, and I feel like that helped, though it was not really rocky on that cruise, and I actually think I'm getting better. Yes, I'm so sick of getting seasickness. It is not funny. A few other tips I've heard or I've seen, my friend, we went on a cruise and she brought Fruit Tingles. You know those fizzy little round lollies? I'll insert a picture here. She swears by them. She does Navy cadets, and she reckon they help. So she brought so many of them, and maybe they did help. I don't know, but I just sort of got addicted to Fruit Tingles again. But I feel like they did help, but maybe you could try that. I think it's the fizziness in them, sort of like when you have a ginger beer or ginger ale. It just helps settle your stomach, so you can always try that. But I would recommend, if you don't know, either get Phenergan or some sort of Travel Calm, like Dramamine if you're in America. They do not sell that in Australia, but something equivalent to that in Australia, and take it the day before and see how you feel. It's all about seeing how you feel. It's better to take it the day before your cruise and then get on board and, you know, you're having a really good first night, and then you hit rough seas, and the next day you wake up for the first day and it's just all over Red Rover, like goodbye fun times, you're gonna be sick. So it's better just to take it first day before you get on board. Take whatever sort of medicine you can find. Any sort of medicine that says it's good for, you know, traveling, even car travel, motion sickness. You want to look for anything that says the word, motion sickness tablets, travel sickness tablets, stuff like that. I take Phenergan, that works for me. It's just because that was what was given to me on my first cruise, and I am like the extreme of seasickness. I have to take like the best, otherwise I am sick, especially if it's a really rocky. I feel like if it's a really, really rocky though, I feel like there's only a few people who just have solid stomachs to handle that. So I'm hoping this video is a bit all over the place, but I'm hoping these tips could help you when you go on your first cruise or next cruise or whatever. Let me know if you have any seasickness tips below. Really be interested to try some of them out if you do. Like I said, I get bad seasickness and I stick to Phenergan, but it's probably not the best to take, as in it makes you drowsy and stuff, which isn't fun, but at the moment it's one of the only things I know that works, so I'm gonna stick with it. So yeah, I hope these tips help you not get seasickness for your next cruise or your first cruise or whatever. Like I said, leave comments below, let me know if you have any seasickness tips, and also leave a comment below and let me know what other cruise series type videos you want me to share. I have a lot of tips I think that I could share with people, I just don't know what sort of videos to make. Any sort of ideas you have would be great. I'm more than willing to share the little bit of knowledge that I do have with cruising, or the knowledge that I like to think I have with cruising. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you all next time, sometime in the near future. Bye guys.